Hey guys, welcome back to Euro Truck Simulator 2. Today we are back, continuing our drive through Norway. Yes, today Sweden and Norway. Yeah, we're continuing our drive through Nordic Horizons in northern Scandinavia. Today we're in a new truck. We're in a Scania S. Really liking this truck. I'll talk about it a bit as we go. First, let's have a look at just a couple of things here. So, we're on a long delivery today. I'm looking forward to this. Now, I've already completed Nordic Horizons. I banged this out in about 2 days. I've had a lot of fun driving in Scandinavia. What can I say? I've really enjoyed this. So if you're not sure about this expansion, well, today we are driving 1,500 kilometers through Sweden and Norway. So if you haven't seen the expansion, you'll see plenty of it today. And we're going to a place I haven't been. So even though I've completed this already, I'll show you real quick while we're still in the menu here. We are going from a place I can't pronounce in Sweden. I'll try Vaxio. And we're going up north. Look at this, 1,500 kilometers up north to, I don't know, Boda. I don't know. I don't speak Norwegian, but we're going up here to Norway. Never been there. I've been on some of these roads, but yeah, we're going to take a beautiful trip up here. We're in a Scania S. I've only got a couple of mods. I do have an engine sound mod for the Scania, which I'll have linked below. And what else is relevant? Dashboard, a small dashboard tweak. So I really like this truck. Scania S, it's an in-game Scania S. I really like it. Oh yeah, so we're also driving a Scandinavian truck. There's that as well. It's a Swedish truck. I love the dashboard on the Scania S, except that some elements of it are too hard to read. So I also have a mod that just slightly tweaks the dashboard. It's actually the same dashboard, but it's easier to read. So we got a dashboard mod and a engine sound mod. Anything else? Let me look here. Anything else? Yeah, the wheels are, I stole the wheels from a mod. No big deal. But anyway, let's go. Yeah, without further ado, we've got 1,400 and some kilometers. 1,468. I'll go ahead and reset my trip for 1,468, but we'll probably have to revise that from time to time because I'll probably forget. I am on manual transmission. I just put a new transmission in this truck, which I've not driven yet. It's actually a fair point of consideration. Well, I just went from 12 to a 12 plus 2 or 3 transmission. I'm not even sure what that means. 12 plus 2. What does it even mean? 14? Right, but if it's 14, then why is it called 12 plus 2? I don't know. We're going to find out. I'm going to shift and we're going to find out. So this truck is really capable now. It has, it's got an end-game engine in it. It's not a super-powered engine or anything. It's an end-game engine. It's the 650 horsepower Scania V8 engine with the end-game 13. Is it? I forget the exact transmission I just put in. Is it 13 plus 2 or 12 plus 2? I don't know. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna shift with it and see how it goes. Let's go. What gear are we in? Let's try 4 low here. Assuming this is 4 low in the transmission. Alright. Don't worry, I'm a fast learner. Alright, so we've got us a ways to go here. We're going through probably some places here. Some places through here I've probably been to. Others I haven't. Yeah, so I got some funny bobbleheads here on my dashboard. Well, think about that. I'm hoping they're not annoying. So I just stopped at the shop. This truck is really new. I'll talk all about the truck and everything else. The truck here is really new. It's a new addition to my garage. I'll talk all about it. I was kind of been doing some initial stuff to it. Wait, we're not turning here. Why did I think we were... It's my bad. And so I was like, I do like the Scarecrow bobblehead, but in order to put a bobblehead on this dashboard, I had to put that table up there. That table blocks a lot of my dashboard. I was like, I don't know. So I was like, as long as I have that up there, I should put something else up there. So anyway, I put a couple bobbleheads up there. If they get annoying, if they get in the way, let me know. We'll get rid of them. But it's fine. So if you're asking, if you're wondering, what's up with that? Well, I don't know. All right, so... Oh yeah, one thing about this dashboard I really like. I mentioned I have a small dashboard upgrade, which makes some elements more readable. Yeah, by default on the Scania S, I cannot read my cruise control. I can't read it. It's too small. I don't have it on right now, but if I did... Ooh, man, this thing sounds good. Let's get on the road here. Okay. Look here. Wait, what's our speed? Hang on a second. I gotta follow some stuff here. Whoa, let's not shift into the wrong gear here. I'm learning this new transmission. Let me get around these turns. Kind of lost the sauce a little bit there. All right. Well, the best way to drive a new transmission is just to feel it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, I kind of had to... I'm getting the hang of it, guys. I'm getting the hang of it. All right, what was I even talking about? Man, I like the way this thing shifts now. I don't even know what gear I'm in. Like I said, I don't know what 12 plus 2 means. Why didn't I just call it 14? I don't know. All right, so how about we just hang here? Let's just hang at 60 clicks an hour. All right, so right there, I turned the cruise control on. Now I can read it. But by default, it's in a slightly different position on the speedometer, and it's almost impossible to read. That little green 60, almost impossible to read. So this speedometer tweak, this gauge tweak I have, does that. It also adds the, notice the little amber light there that just showed me, it's the blind spot detection. Like if I get really, yeah, like right there, the blind spot detection is blinking when on the, because there's these things I'm passing on the right. What I'm saying is the reason that's really good. So this dashboard gives the truck the actual real-life blind spot detection that it has in real life. That's good because this truck, by default, the view I have here, I don't have my mirrors in view, so I can't see them. I can turn my head and see them, but by default, they're not in view. Now, this is simply the thing. Here, let's go ahead and speed up a little bit. So, do I have a gear past this? Hang on a second. Here's what we find out. Where's my tachometer? Okay. Do I have a gear past this? We're about to find out. Yep. Okay. I just dipped into the +2. Yeah. Well, the default Scania doesn't have this gear, so I moved my gear shift up there. Yeah. Oh, whoa, that goes fast. Oh, it's tall. Those top 2 gears are tall, buddy. Hang on a second. Let me see here. How about we just stay right here for now? Okay. Oh yeah. Now, of course, you can press the F4 key, and you can move your seat position. I can move my seating position. I can move my seating position back, so that the mirrors are in view. Of course. But I'm a big sticker for realism, immersion, and things like that. If I do that, then I definitely can't read my gauges. And I'm sitting unrealistically far back from my steering wheel. So, anyway, just thought I'd talk a bit about that. We got plenty of drive to talk about all kinds of things. I like this dashboard mod. It just tweaks it a little bit. Like I said, it makes the blind spot notification actually. I don't know how functional it is in the default one, but here you can see it blinking every time I pass a little marker on the right-hand side of the truck. It blinks. Well, if I was close enough, it would blink, it would light up amber, let me know there's something there. If there's a car on my left, the left side of it will light up amber. And if I have my turn signal on, it'll actually beep at me. So like if I were to try to turn lanes here, see it's beeping, it's saying, no, don't do that, don't do that. So anyway, yeah, I like that because, a second here. Just gotta kind of feel these gears. Yeah, we're good. Let's see here. Coming over here. Actually, we're getting off. Yeah, we're getting off actually. So actually, we don't need those top 2 gears. Nah, because I'm cruising at 80 at 6 high. Okay, so we got 2 gears that we don't need. That's, again, I don't know. I'm just feeling it out, and that's what I felt here. Because there's rarely a speed limit over 80 in Europe. Maybe in like parts in northern Russia or way out in the boonies in Scandinavia. There's some places where I see the speed limit get up to 90, but, you know, for trucks that is, right? But here, we should be fine with 80. And besides, one thing I found is a lot of times I don't even want to go that fast, right? Oh yeah, so I have been slowly tweaking some more settings toward realism. For instance, I've gone through my settings, and actually just right before this delivery, I turned off traction control. I just wanted some more realistic stuff, like there is a setting for traction control and ABS. I left the ABS on because, come on, even motorcycles nowadays have ABS. Of course my truck has ABS. I think it'd be unrealistic to turn that off. But I was like, traction control, I turned it off because the trucks are pretty darn stable. I was like, you know, if my truck actually slid or if I slipped the tire here or there, that might actually be... Yeah, I just wanted some more challenge. So I did turn off the traction control just for some more challenge. I haven't driven with that yet, so we'll see. I think we'll be fine. Now, let's have a look. So that's kind of like where we're at. We're starting with there's some more stuff I want to talk about. We got plenty of drive to go. It is 10:47 a.m. We've got approximately 1 million kilometers to go. Anyway, so if you haven't seen Nordic Horizons, it's beautiful, guys. This is awesome. I mean, you get basically like 2/3 of the country of Norway, Sweden, and Finland. You know, like obviously the whole section that wasn't there previously. There's some beautiful places. I've seen some awesome drives. Last video I just uploaded was really cool. And before that, though, I did a long delivery up north to Norway that I didn't record, and I had wished that I had because I saw some really cool places there. You know, I'm okay with my bobbleheads over there, the pumpkin and the scarecrow. Yeah, they're chilling with me. Yeah, they're pretty chill. Scarecrow he's super happy about this. You can tell. Maybe I should put a Christmas tree or something because I guess it's kind of more Christmas time now. But I'm really more of a Halloween guy. So I just got this truck. So like every video, I've got a new truck. And I explained about that a little bit in the last video. It's because I just started playing ETS2 like a little over a week ago. I'm going to say about 10 days ago because last I saw I've got about 112 hours in the game. And I think I have put about 10 hours a day in it. I've been super addicted to this game since I started playing it. And so I'm in the meat of building my company up, right? I'm like level 23 now. Of course, I know what I'm doing because I played American Truck Simulator for years. I kind of know what I'm doing. So what I did was I started off here. The first thing I went for was taking out massive loans, you know, buying 2 garages with massive loans, getting as many trucks as I could and getting them hired out, which hurts in the short run but helps you in the long run. Well, now we're level 23. All my loans are paid off and I got 6 drivers bringing in money. So yeah, we're going to be doing good. I just got out of that painful part. And so I've been driving a lot of different trucks every video, and that's because I buy a used truck, I drive it just to test it out. Well, of course, I don't, guys, I live in America. I don't know anything about Euro trucks. So I buy a new truck used, I try it out myself, make sure it's maintained, make sure it's got some horsepower or whatever, and then I hire it out, right? Then I buy another used truck, etc. But now I'm kind of slowing down on that and kind of starting to settle a bit. I'm finding ones that I like. And this one I took the time to say, okay, I like this one. So I took the time to find a good engine sound mod for it that was based on an actual real truck, which is actually really cool. If you were to look at the link that I would have put a link to the sound mod for this, which I got off the Steam Workshop. And there on the Steam Workshop for this particular engine sound mod, he has a full video showing the sound of it, which you don't need to hear if you're watching me here because you can hear it, and another video of the actual truck. And that was cool. I actually went to YouTube and watched that. The truck that this particular engine sound is based off of is a real truck out of Northumberland. And I was like, oh wow, I watched that thing forever. I was like, man, that truck sounds awesome. Hang on a second. Is my engine brake working this truck? Apparently, hang on. Apparently not very much. Sorry, I had to find a gear there. So, yeah, I'm still curious about my engine brake. Let's see. Well, I just put in this transmission. Does this truck not have an engine brake? Yeah, I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. It kind of, when I hit it, you can hear it kind of go, oh, but then that's it. Right there, and now I'm just coasting. Until it shifts down again, but it won't shift in again because I have a gear shift. So if I shift. Anyway. Look, I don't know then. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you see, I watched the video with this. I've had an issue. The last few trucks I've had, I push the engine brake and nothing happens. They just coast. It's actually something I've been trying to troubleshoot. Maybe one of you guys can help me with this. I don't know if you've had this problem or not. I have been having this problem. It's the last few trucks. And I started thinking, maybe it's not the trucks, maybe it's something to do with my controls. I know that it's activating because I can hear the sound, but then it cuts and the truck just coasts. So something's going on. But all my trucks, when I hit the engine brake, they just coast. And I know it's not what happens. I know that I should have engine compression holding the truck back. So I'm thinking, is it something to do with my controls? So I Googled it, actually. Well, that's kind of the most obvious thing, right? I Googled it, and so that's the first step, because you're not going to find anything really good there. The only really thing I found is if you're using steering wheel and pedals, which I am, something about put more dead zone in your gas pedal, because if your gas pedal is even like 0.5% engaged, it will allow it to engine brake. Thought that was pretty clever. I did check that. I have Fanatec pedals. I went to my Fanatec software, and as far as I know, I pushed in 2% dead zone on the pedals. Maybe I did it wrong. I might want to double check that because I still have no engine brake. But that's the thing I do when I push it. Yeah, but see, I'm just coasting. I'm literally just coasting, aren't I? So, yeah. Anyway, I also say that because this engine sound, I watched the video of this guy with this engine, and it made a really, what's the word for the sound? Annoying noise. Yeah. It makes a very annoying noise. Not very loud or anything, just a very annoying, it sounds like your engine is falling apart. Yeah, it's one of the engine brakes. It sounds like your engine is falling apart. Mine doesn't make any sound, it just coasts. Anyway, same with other trucks. I realized that the last few trucks I've been driving, same thing. I don't know, guys, if there's something you know I don't know, I can try to look at my gas pedal free play again. Someone else said for them it was their clutch free play. Can't be that for me. I did something actually cool. When I set up my pedals, one of the first things that I noticed was I was not a fan of the way the clutch felt. I wanted my clutch to feel more like a real truck and not like a computer peripheral. So what I'm getting at is, with my clutch, one of the first things I did was I dialed in about 20% dead zone on my clutch, so it would feel like a real clutch, and it kind of does. If you haven't tried that, maybe try it. That was one of the first things I noticed when I got my pedals. I was like, oh man, this clutch is way too snappy, dude. You know, I actually drive, I've driven all kinds of manual transmissions for 20 years, 30 years, I don't know how long, right? And I'm like, no. So I dialed in like 20% free play. So I know it's not that on my end. I can double check my gas pedal. I don't know what else it could be though. Anyway, there's some fun stuff to kill the time. I like to talk to you guys as we drive here. We still got 1,100 kilometers to go. Let's check out where we're at. Actually, do we need to... Hang on a second here. Well, I was just thinking, how about we pull over? And I grabbed that just in time. I got really quiet. I was like, I got just enough time to grab a gear and pull over here. Let's see. How's our fuel? Where's the fuel gauge on? Oh my gosh. This truck is pretty new. Hang on a second. Where's my fuel gauge, guys? I don't know. Hang on a second. I know how to read my speed and my 87%. That's what that says. But where is it at, like, regular? Like, if I want to check it while I'm driving. Oh, there it is. Bottom left. Okay. There we go. All right. Hey, I know where the speed is. I know where the speed limit is. I know where the cruise control is. Right? I know the basic stuff, but I hadn't checked for the fuel gauge yet. All right, so we're good on fuel. Let's just pull this up and double check. Dude, I think I'm stopped in the middle of nowhere, aren't I? Yeah, we're actually pretty good on. We're pretty good on everything here. Let's pull up out of the way. Sorry about that. Just gotta stop in the middle of the thing. Well, the beauty of a 40-ton 18-wheeler, you kind of have the license to stop wherever you want. People will move out of your way. I mean, right? All right, we're not going to rest. We don't need to rest. We got good daylight. It's only like 1:30 in the afternoon or something. All right, but we can check the map here. I like to pull over to check the map. I don't think it's realistic to check it while we're driving. So we are... Did I turn around and face the other way? I don't recall turning around, but who knows? I guess I did. All right, well, we're going up here. So next stop, Stockholm. And then I think that's kind of where the main game ends. Yeah, I think the rest of it, I think everything north of Stockholm is Nordic Horizons, right? This coastal highway here, which I'm not the biggest fan of this coastal highway along the Gulf of, what's this called? I don't live here. I don't really actually know. The Gulf of Bothnia? Yeah, I've actually never heard of that. Well, not a big fan of this highway, but once it breaks into the back country back here, this is where the roads get beautiful. This road here, this road here. Actually, I haven't been down this one. I don't. Wait. I have. Look. I've got a camera point. Okay, yeah, I've been down this one. Anyway, so that's where we're at. We're about to hit Stockholm. We're all rested up and we are fueled up, so we're good to go. All right, just wanted to check and see. Yeah, I don't remember turning around. I guess somewhere we got turned around the wrong way. Okay, how do we get out of here? All right. What are these trucks doing? Oh, no. That guy's holding the whole line up, isn't he? Yeah. He's asleep at the wheel, I guess. Oh, they're moving now. Look, they're going around and they're like, screw this guy. Look, I set the example. Look, I set the example. Now they're like, hey, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do what that one guy did. I'm going around this. Wow, wow, wow. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Oh, jeez. Okay, are we turning here? Let me check my map. Oh, we can't turn here. All right, now. Yeah, apparently we got turned around, which I don't remember in this place. Man. Whatever they're backed up about, it wasn't my doing. Man, his truck sounds good. Oh. I was speeding and didn't realize it. Yeah, the 650 horsepower engine is pretty new. Well, the whole truck's pretty new, but the 650 horsepower engine, I think that was the last delivery I did that. Look, I got this vision for this truck. I shot for a long time to find one other. I've driven a lot of the trucks in the game. I was like, which truck do I really want to drive? And I like the looks of the Volvos. The Volvo FH6 I really like. But I was like, I want to try some other stuff. I kind of found myself liking the Scania. And when I found this one especially, I like its, oops, where's my steering wheel button? There it is. My ridiculously, hugely oversized, exaggerated GPS. You cannot miss where you're going with this GPS screen. I love it. I got like a 55-inch widescreen equivalent, right, to GPS in my thing here. Think we can get that camera point from down here? Whoops, let's see here. You know, the thing with getting these camera points when you're on the bridge itself is that the camera loves to not let you move off the bridge. Yeah, it's this weird thing. But if we're down here, look at that. We can get actually a picture of the bridge from down here. If we were up there, the camera does this glitch thing where it won't move off the bridge. How about that? All right, it's a good day. Everything is, whoa, working out except for I accidentally went over there. So I decided I really like this truck, and I was like, well, I looked at it in the Truck Explorer, right? It's a newer feature of the game. Well, if you've been playing for a while, it's pretty new in the last year or so. I like the Truck Explorer thing because it allows you to check out trucks, see what you can do with them. Obviously, that's what it's for, right? Well, because it wasn't always in the game. It's definitely within the last year or so. So I checked out the Scania S and the Truck Explorer, and I was like, well, what can I do with this guy? And And I love the look of this truck with the 8x4 chassis, with the 8x4 mid-lift chassis. Yeah, you got a mid-lift axle. You can still have side fairings. It puts the fuel tanks up behind the cab. It just looks cool. And I was like, I like the look of that truck. I want to go for that. I got to work for it. It's something expensive. So the truck is what it is right now. In fact, it doesn't even have a paint job. It's still the factory red because paint jobs are expensive. You know, I'm absolutely driving this truck to pay for its own upgrades, which is something I always like to do, right? I always thought that was cool. It's something I've been doing since, I don't know, my old days in Gran Turismo. I'd like spend all my money and then I'd buy a cool race car and then I'd say, okay, I can only upgrade this race car with the money that I earn racing it. That's always fun. So with this truck, I'm just driving this truck and I'm kind of using the money that I earn trucking to upgrade it. But yeah, we do have 6 other drivers earning money for us. I wanted to get them hired as soon as possible, right? So they'd start leveling up as soon as possible, so they start bringing in good money. I've got some question marks up here. What is this place? Oh, this must be Stockholm, huh? Or do we pass that? I don't know. Oh, it says Stockholm up there. I don't speak Swedish, but I know okay, wait, let me concentrate here. Okay, so speed limit 70. We are... Okay, we're hopping off up here. We're hopping off. Let's see here. See, that's why I like that stuff right there. We're clear, we're clear. That scared the crap out of me, though. That scared the crap out of me. But that's why I like those blind spot detectors. Yeah. Man, that's scary. Oh, I love that, though. I love that tech. You know, there's another bit of tech that I really love. Whoa, did I hit the curb? I must have hit the curb. Another bit of tech I love, this truck unfortunately doesn't have, and that's the digital mirrors. But you can't win them all. Now, the Volvo FH6, it does have the full glass cockpit, the digital mirrors, the blind spot protection, all that stuff. Yeah, but something about the Scania I disliked. It's also a Swedish truck. Yes, I don't know, actually. I could go back or forth either way. I just kind of landed on this guy here for now. Maybe I'll go back to the FH6. Who knows? But yeah, I do like the digital mirrors. They're cool to have. Okay, what are we doing here? We are sticking in this lane here. $70 miles an hour. Sorry, kilometers an hour, whatever. If I say miles, you know I mean kilometers. I was using miles an hour for my first, I don't know, my first 50 or so hours in this game. I was still using miles. I just needed some time for my Yankee brain to assimilate a little bit. I've not played American Truck Simulator since I started playing this game. I've not gone back. When I do... Yeah, hang on a second. When I do, it'll be fine. Yeah, that's the thing. What I ultimately figured was, let's put it on kilometers. Let's learn, let's adjust, because the thing is... I grew up with miles an hour. For 45 years, I've learned miles an hour. I can't unlearn that, right? I can't forget that. So, yeah, it's the same thing with like, same thing with learning language, for instance, you know. I've been learning a language, and I immerse myself as much as I can in it, even avoiding English whenever I can, because it's like, hey, it's not like I'm going to forget it, right? That may seem like an obvious tactic, but maybe not everyone thinks of it. You know, so I was like, yeah, you know, let's just switch everything to kilometers. It ain't like I'm going to forget miles an hour. So, you know, yeah, no, I learned the kilometers pretty good. It picks up pretty easy. But you know what the best part about using kilometers is that you don't notice how slow European speed limits actually are. Like right now, I'm actually only going about 50 miles an hour. Yeah, but since it says 80, it feels a little better, yeah. Actually, and after a while, I mentioned this in the last video too, actually feels faster. Like I actually feel like I'm going fast. It's like, whoa, I'm going fast. Actually, no, I'm only going 48 miles an hour. It's pretty sad, but yeah, you get used to it. me see if I can grab a drink here while I drive. Can I hold my wheel with my knee? No, I kind of can't on this. I never tried that. Well, in real life, I would hold my... Whoops. Hang on a second. You know what? Why don't I just pause it real quick? I'm just going to pause it. In real life, I would hold my wheel with my knee. But that's in a car. I have my wheel set up here like a truck. Yeah, so when I started my sim racing setup, when I started it a couple of years ago, it was a Logitech, like with a lot of people, it was a Logitech G920 steering wheel, which is race car sized steering wheel, and it's mounted in the same angle as one. But, a second here, let me make sure I'm not going to ram that guy. Okay. But I'm using different equipment now. I've upgraded stuff, and as I've done so, I now have a much larger wheel. It's actually crazy. When I get in my car now, like when I get in my actual car to go to the store, my steering wheel feels like a toy because I've been driving this all day. And then I get in my car, I'm like, oh, this is a tiny little thing. So here I have an actual truck steering wheel, and I've leaned it. This is actually tilted up like a truck. It's, yeah, more immersion, more everything, right? But yeah, I can't really, I can't steer with my knee like I do in my car now. Anyway. So the Scarecrow there, definitely much livelier than the Jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern, he's pretty stoic, ain't he? Yeah, he's not as, whoa, not as animated. There's a truck over there, okay. I just realized I left that bottom bar on. Usually I turn that bottom bar off. Usually I turn my bottom bar off because it's so much more immersive without it, but, well, I just noticed I had it on, so the way I see it, if I didn't notice it was on, I guess it doesn't matter. But see, I like that blind spot indicator, like right there, you can see it's lit up orange, so I know that, like, even though I'm not looking over there, I'm not signaling over there, but I saw that light up, so I know that there's just someone coming that way. Now, that actually is one thing I was mentioning, high-tech features of the vehicles. The Volvo doesn't do that. No. It will... Whoops. The Volvo has the blind spot detection, but it would only... Like this truck, it only beeps if you have the signal on, but the thing is, the blind spot detection on it is on the mirrors. Now, it's got the digital mirrors, so I can see right there on the A pillar where the mirror would be, it would light up. But if I want to see the right-hand side, I actually have to look over at that. This one actually shows them both on the dashboard, so that's pretty cool. So I can just look straight ahead, and I can see. It's very handy to see the little amber lights light up, like, oh, I know there's someone right here, see? Very handy to know. Thought I'd yap some about the truck. I'm hoping I'll put some time on this truck. Well, that's the thing. Right now, this is my favorite truck, right? And I don't want to drive another truck. I like my Scania S. But the way I see it, if another truck comes along that I like, well, then I'll like that one, and I won't feel bad about not driving this. But for right now, this is all I want to drive, is the Scania. Yeah. We all get tired of everything, you know, eventually. So we are down to, look at that, we're under 1,000 kilometers left now. Now this part of this road is pretty good. Do we need to rest? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I kind of, okay, sometimes I lose my, that was a bit much there. No, we'll pull over at some point and check the map, but not here. I figured once it gets a little late, of course, as we go north, it's not really going to get dark. I do like that. I like a lot of the things about this. So if you haven't played Nordic Horizons, I'm pretty sure that's something new because they mentioned it in the, it's mentioned in the DLC description. So if it is a thing in southern Sweden and Norway, it's more of a thing in northern. Yeah, so what I'm saying is it's got the Arctic, you know, kind of day-night cycle. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. It's got the Arctic day-night cycle. Especially now that we're north of Stockholm, and the further we go north, of course, the game doesn't have seasons, at least not yet, not by default. Wouldn't that be cool if it did? So we're stuck in like a perpetual summer. So that's cool. we have, it basically never gets dark up here. Basically never gets dark. Like 2 a.m. it'll be dark, it'll be dim, but the sky is still bright. It's actually pretty cool. Never really gets dark, but I still like to, it's for realism or whatever, to sleep at night. Oof. Hang on. Whoa, I was totally asleep at the wheel there. Totally AFK talking to you guys. Totally. Okay, so we're okay. I mentioned this in the last video. If you saw my last video, I mentioned there's about a 200 or 300k stretch of this highway through Sweden where you are surrounded by walls. Welcome to that stretch of highway. There's a few breaks here and there where it adds a lane before it takes it away. But other than that, this part of this stretch of this road, which might be longer than 200 or 300k, pretty much requires that you keep your eyes glued to the road at all times, because if you veer 1 inch off course, you smack a wall. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. That was the context in which I was mentioning it last video. I'm not slow down a bit here, 70k an hour speed limit. Yeah, not a fan of this. I'm a fan of shoulders. I'm a fan of human error allowing me to occasionally put a tire. Yeah, I'd like to be able to have human error and put my tire on a white line on accident and not slam into a wall and bounce off of it. So, now again, I'll just put it out there in case you're going to say, oh, it's to keep people from hitting you head on. Yeah, but I argue that the one head-on accident it avoids, it causes 10 times more accidents of people slamming into it and bouncing off. That's my argument against that. I don't like walls. Okay, this part's not so bad. There are stretches. Okay, anyway though, there are stretches of this road that are straight, one lane, walled in, and you have about a foot or two of clearance each way. Moving on. I've said my piece there. Moving on. We're in that part of Sweden. That's cool. If you do the Nordic Horizons, you'll drive this particular highway a lot. And we're back up to 80? Yeah, I guess we are. We're back up to 80. Yeah, there's places of this where it gets super narrow like that. Anyway, the scenery here is beautiful. It is. I do like it when the road opens up a little more, though. Get some scenery here. We're not directly fenced in, so I can afford a little swerviness out here. Well, sometimes I swerve on the third person. It's a little harder to keep the vehicle straight. Well, just practice. Truck looks good. I've been wanting to do a paint job for it. Last time I was at the shop, I was looking at paint jobs, but all the good paint jobs cost at least 20 grand. I don't have that much money. I don't know what to paint it. Something cool. I did, of course, unlock the Nordic Horizons paint job from the event. I'm not super fond of it. It's okay. I don't know. I'd like to, because it's the whole Nordic theme. But it's all like teal, aquamarine, white. It has a big lighthouse on it. It's kind of cool. I'm just not a huge fan of the color palette, I guess. I don't know. Oh, we got a bit of a slowdown here. You know, that stuff happens and I keep forgetting I've got this on manual transmission. I think I did pretty good. I haven't driven this truck yet on manual, and definitely not with the new transmission. There's definitely a degree with which you get good at it, but well, yeah, I started driving with it a lot. So I've been upgrading my sim setup over the last couple of years, like I said before. A lot of it's been new additions over time, and the shifter, the H shifter I have was new, I don't know, what was it, a couple months ago? And when I started driving with it on the channel, wait, I'm in gear, aren't I? Yeah, okay. When I started driving with it a couple months ago on the channel, I'm slowing down because I'm expecting him to pull over for this way station, but no, it's not saying anything. Okay. Huh. My experience is in Norway that you always have to pull over for him. But I was at least expecting it to tell me, you know, red or green light, but it didn't. Anyway. Yeah, so in Nordic Horizons, if you haven't played it, there are way stations, which I mentioned that because it's a regular thing in ATS, but not in ETS. But apparently in Norway they do have them. They usually require you to stop. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so the shifting for me is new. And I was saying when I first started doing it, I was like, my hope is to one day be so good at it that I can talk, drive, narrate a video, oh my gosh, and not have to think about it. Wow, I just burned through, I just dropped like 5 gears one at a time there. All right, yeah, just like that. My hope is that one day I could narrate a video and bang through gears and not, because I drive a stick shift in real life. Now, I remember when I first started driving a stick shift in real life, I could not, I mean, IRL, right? IRL. My first car was a stick shift. Whoa, did someone just hit me? Something bit me. I don't know, something hit me from behind, I swear. Well, anyway, my first car IRL was a stick shift. Why are my gears feeling off? I'm in 6 high. Hang on a second. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, we're good. I mean, like I said, I've been doing it subconsciously. I'm good. I keep second guessing myself. Anyway, when I first started driving stick shift, I remember driving through the city when I was like 17. I was like 17 years old, driving through the city, and it was too much for me to smoke a cigarette and drive a stick shift. I couldn't do it. It was too much. I couldn't do it. And I was like, well, obviously you get over that. And so having, you know, real life, right? Same thing with motorcycles. When I learned to drive motorcycles, it was a lot to manage. So I knew, so I just got this H shifter, you know, a couple months ago. And I knew from real life experience of driving various things, I was like, I hope this becomes easy. Yeah, totally. Totally. I thought maybe it'd be too much to manage while I'm driving. For instance, Farming Simulator. Hang on a second. Are we slowing down here? In Farming Simulator, I don't use the whole sim setup. I just use the Xbox controller. For Roadcraft and Farming Simulator, I unplug all of this and I just use the Xbox controller because I just want to chill and farm. I want to chill, recline, and just drive my tractor. Me personally. But for this game, honestly, this is fine. This is how I prefer to play this. Yeah, I think this game just lends itself better to this because chilling, leaning back in your chair with a controller in this game, you're asking to hit a wall or something. You kind of got to focus a little bit. In fact, playing this game, I argue it's more chill with a steering wheel because I'm just, I got one finger resting on my wheel, just like if I was driving a real truck, right? I've got one finger resting on my wheel, steering my truck. With a controller on this game, I am gripping it with my hands sweating the whole entire time, twitching the stick back and forth to stay in a lane. Oh, geez, guys, if you play this with a controller, I urge you, implore you, just get like a, if you can, you know, it's like a couple $100. Try out a Logitech steering wheel. Change your life. Yeah, so this game actually gets more casual. The point is this game actually gets more casual with a sim setup. And I was, so anyway, as long as we're telling stories, talking about stuff as we drive here, adding to that a shifter, same thing, honestly. There was a small adjustment period, and now, you know, it's more... If you drive a stick shift in real life, it's more satisfying because there's a lot of times in driving these automatic trucks, and sometimes it picks weird gears at weird times, and it's like, man, if I had a stick shift, I would put it in a different gear. Yeah, anyway. So where are we at? We should probably look for a place to rest now. Our bed icon's getting a little full. We've got 700K left to go. So yeah, this is definitely a longer delivery. I don't usually do deliveries this long. We are now definitely, obviously, we're deep in Nordic Horizons territory. We're checking out the expansion. Let's rest to get some daylight back. And our fuel is fine, but may as well while we're stopped. Also, I never mind resting when I get the chance. Well, A, get some more daylight, and B, well, we got 6 drivers working for us. They'll be bringing us in more money while we're at the rest stop. So, when we see one, we'll pull over. I'm just waiting for, there's probably one back there. Yeah, I'm waiting for one of the convenient ones on the side of the road. I wish we had those in America. We kind of don't. I love how in Europe you guys got these handy-dandy little rest stops right on the side of the road. Like, maybe we had these back in the day, like in the days of Route 66, but not today with freeways. Even the simplest ones are still you still have to take an exit and stuff. Is there one up here? So, yeah, there's a rest spot of sorts up here. Well, where's the turnoff for it? Right here. So, no fuel here, just rest. It's okay. Oh, turn that wheel back. Can we trigger the sleep thing? I didn't know what to expect. I just saw the icon. Oh, this is cool. I like this. Oh, this is a gorgeous little stop here. I think we can actually trigger the rest. Oh, guys, this game, you know, 10 times worse than ATS. Yeah, this game is really hard to trigger these things. Somewhere there is a micro spot. Somewhere there's a micro spot that triggers this rest. And we gotta find it now. Guys, just let me rest. I implore you, SCS software, I implore you, just let me rest. I know I could turn the fatigue simulation off, but if you start just turning simulation things off, then why the F am I playing a simulator, am I right? Yeah, I'll just turn it all off. No, 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 see, that's what I'm saying. No, I want to rest. We're gonna back up. I'm gonna take a little deeper into the lane. We'll try then. Yeah, but they're not wanting to let me here. All right, we're gonna try a little deeper here, and then if that's not it, then we'll go to the next place. The last resort is you can always disconnect your trailer and search with your cab. But again, does it have to be said that I want the immersion, and that's why I'm driving a game with the word simulator in the name in the first place? All right, guys, next place. Ah, this pisses me off. It really does. It really irks me. This, I just gun it out of the thing. That's right. That's actually, you know, that's what I like about this engine. It's like, I'm so pissed, I can actually gun it like I'm pissed. I am pissed with it. Man. That's what I like about manual shifting. Yeah. Okay, so best part about manual shifting your own gears is when you get pissed off, it's something you can drive like you're pissed. That actually, I actually do rank that up there. I rank that up there. Yeah. Let me slow down a bit here. We're going to take a picture. Now, so here's what I was talking about. Like, my camera will probably get stuck on the bridge. It doesn't always, but sometimes it does. We're going to see here. Let's see, where's my pause button? We're gonna try here. Yeah, so, and that sleep trigger thing. I made a whole video on that. It doesn't seem to bug a lot of people, right? That's fine. A lot of people told me, yo, just turn your fatigue simulation off. Well, yeah, I'm stuck on the bridge. That's BS. What are you guys thinking? SCS, software, what the heck, man? You give us, like, tourist simulator here with these photos we can take, but I can't get over there to take it. What do you want me to do? Take a picture of the bridge from the bridge itself? Nah, and it'll get to the point where you can't move it at all. Like right here. Look, I'm slamming my keyboard. I can't move it at all now. Now it's stuck. That's the only photo I can get. Come on, guys. Come on. You want us to take touristy pictures? Want us to move the camera? Just a suggestion. Wild suggestion. Yeah, I get snarky sometimes about some stuff. Whoops. Whoa. My fault. What did I hit? There's no one back there. Yeah, maybe that was nothing. Was that nothing? There was no one back there. There's no damage. My blind spot sensor didn't go off. Anyway, the only stuff I complain about is the most obvious stuff that... Come on. It's not like I'm saying, I'm gonna slow down a bit. This feels a bit fast for this narrow road. It's not like I'm saying I want a coffee maker in my truck and I want it to function and I want to pick how much cream I can put in it or whatever. I don't know. I'm not making ridiculous things. just the features that are actually in the game. The things I complained about are features in the game that don't work as well as they should. So that's verified. That's valid. Yeah, not a fan of this wall here. That's okay, we'll be fine. I don't know what I hit back there. Well, it was right when I came out of the thing. And it's easy to come out of the pause screen. It's easy to kind of have your wheel kind of woo like that a little bit, you know? But, well, there is that. Even going like that, with this wall, I'm still not hitting anything, look. So I don't know what that could have been. Oh well. Things happen. We're fine. We'll look for another place to rest up here. The next place, we will. Alright, if I have to, I'll disconnect the trailer. What's going on up here? People slow down? Yeah, a second here. So his engine downshift's weird. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this one out. Okay, wait, so I'm at 63. If I downshift to 5th, you'd think it should have redlined, but it didn't. I think it's a general thing with the game. Actually, you know what I think that is. Okay. I think it actually is on my end. Let me check this out. So there's a setting here. Setting. I think it's actually on my end. And there's a setting I never played with, and I'll tell you why. We go to controls, and we go to shifter layout behavior. Okay, first of all, pro tip, if you come from ATS like me, this is the transmission, this most mirrors the Eaton Fuller transmission shift pattern. If you're like me, and just, you know, as a PSA, if you're like me and you drive American trucks, you're used to the Eaton Fuller transmission, and you find the Euro shift patterns weird, this is the most like the Eaton Fuller 18-speed layout right here, except reverse is in the place of low. Other than that, it's the same. Anyway, this setting right here, this allows me to shift and it won't redline and destroy and grind gears in the transmission. The reason I don't have it on advanced here, I'll do that in my own time and I'll tell you why. Let's go back to driving and I'll tell you why. That's probably why it wasn't redlining. I downshifted and I was expecting to get punished for downshifting improperly, but I didn't get punished. And the reason I think that is because of that. Hang on, 70 mile an hour. Now, the reason I didn't turn it up, so I have it on the simple, whatever, like the setting you saw. So I'm using the clutch to shift. Now, in an actual truck, you don't have to use the clutch to shift. Once you're moving, you can use the gas pedal to shift. And that would be the most realistic setting. However, I have tried it, didn't get it to work. I'm gonna have to mess with it a bunch more. I did not get that to work. Like, I put it on that setting and tried using the gas pedal to shift. Anyway, long story short, hang on, I gotta drive here, but long story short, it did not work, not in the slightest. What do we got here? Where's my view button? Got a spot to rest somewhere? Yeah, but I would like the RPMs to actually go up as they should when I downshift. Where's the truck sure quiet? I swear, and it didn't die. Yeah, it didn't die. It just gets weirdly quiet sometimes. Well, nothing's perfect. All right, let's go. How do I get over there? It's blocked off. What am I looking at? Hang on. Am I in the way of anyone? Not necessarily. What about over there, do you think? Let me see. Yeah, back behind me over there. Okay. I just want to find a place to rest. Get a light outside again. Can I drive around this building, you think? Yeah, I think so. I'll find a place to trigger the sleep. No worries this time. Well, not there. Not here. Yet. I mean, there's a parking space clearly lined out right here. What I've found is that when I disconnect the tractor and move it by itself, it does allow me to sleep in these places. So, we're gonna move this I'm gonna ditch my trailer over here and I'll find a place to rest. Here, we'll park the trailer over here by this concrete island. Yeah, so I drove through both of those parking spaces and nada. We're gonna park this right here, out of the way. Should be in no one's way there. Now, we should find this pretty easily. Look at that. Look at that. See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. This is that bullcrap, guys. This is that bullcrap. I just drove the truck right through here. I just drove the truck through here. All right, we got us some rest. We got us some money came in from our drivers. Yeah, a few $1,000s came from the drivers. It is 7:50 in the a.m. Looks like a kind of a gloomy day. Maybe those clouds will burn off. We'll see. Oh, parking brake. I knew that. Okay, we got I left our trailer over there. Let's go get that back. You know, I had this friend, he had this diesel truck and it had this real loud exhaust on his diesel truck. Sounded somewhat like this. And he'd go through the parking lot and whenever, now this, I know this is childish, okay guys, I know this is childish, but we all used to be in our 20s at one time or another, okay? He'd drive through the parking lot and whenever he'd see a hot girl, and he'd be like, I'm gonna pipe her. And he'd freaking blast his exhaust pipes. Yeah, like, I'm gonna pipe her. There was no sexual innuendo there. It is in reference to the exhaust pipes, okay? Because he'd use it in, like, if someone pissed him off, he'd do the same thing. Yeah. Anyway, the point is, this exhaust sounded like I was cruising through the parking lot. The sound is somewhat reminiscent. We've all been 25-year-old hooligans at one point or another. All right, let's see here. Where are we exiting out of this place? I guess behind us, yeah? All right, let's get some... All right, let's get back on the road. We have got 600K left. What's the best way to turn around? Wide and slow. Nice and easy. Second gear. Let's see, where's our way out here? There we go. Well, yeah, the bonus part is, yeah, we pulled off on this roundabout, so we kind of just hop back in it. And we're on our way. Look at that. Straight shot out. Speed limit? That was speed. Oh, that was the speed limit. All right, very well. Party poopers. 40K an hour speed limit. It's like, what, 25 or something? Well, to be fair, it's about what it is in towns here. In the really, whoops, the really boring small towns, yeah. Stopped a little short there. All right. Want to race, buddy? Want to race? Oh, it's probably... Oh, the guy, he's in his passenger seat. He's probably let his wife drive. There's no way he's racing me. Oh, come on, come on! Oh, he won. Okay, anyway, enough goofing around. I probably used a lot of fuel. Yeah, all of the goofing around. Okay, I've been doing a fair amount of goofing around. Granted, hey, we all get bored on 1,800-kilometer journeys. Yeah, I probably used some fuel. That was not the most fuel-efficient driving I've ever done. Sure. We're having fun. You know, I didn't check the map while we were stopped, so we'll check it now. Here's where we're at. We're at Ornskoldsvik. Yeah, Ornskoldsvik, that place. Whoops, I accidentally clicked the thing here. There we go. So, wow, we still got a ways to go. Ah, this highway is slow going, apparently. Wait, weren't we here last time? Last time I looked at the map, weren't we here? I guess we were here. We sure haven't gone far, have we? All right, well, it's all the more reason to keep going. I mean, yeah, it doesn't look like we've gone far, but 600 kilometers left, it's not that bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 60 kilometers? this up for 60. There we go. And is it going to go up to 80? Sometimes it's hard to tell 60 from 80. Yeah, 80. I mean, the signs are on the side of the road, but those are... Yeah, they don't always pertain to trucks, right? Now there's that. In America, so in America, if the speed limit is different for cars and trucks, it says. It says. The point is, it says. Hang on a second. We got some speed we gotta shave off here. Now, in Europe, maybe the same, but my only experience driving in Europe is here in this game. In this game, it doesn't specify cars or trucks. It'll have the yellow, the round speed limit sign. It'll say 100, and it'll just mean cars. It'll say 90, and it'll mean both. I don't know. It didn't specify. Does it actually? Hold up. What's this? What's going on up here? I don't know. Good thing I was on my toes, though. Yeah, so it didn't specify. Like right there, it says 100. How do I know it's not for trucks, too? How do I know it's just cars? Common sense? You know, there's that. You guys also lack a lot of stop signs. I noticed there's a lot more yielding going on. Maybe you guys do have more common sense. I should move to Norway. I mean, I'm not necessarily joking. I'm only like 60% joking. Is there just more common sense? Because in America, you can't have a sign that says one thing without saying everything else, because people are going to do that other thing and then sue someone over it, right? I would love to live in a country where people knew how to yield, knew how to drive. Right there, that sign that said 110, I guess you could assume, sure, that's obviously for cars. Or maybe that sign that was with it or something. Oh, okay, so there's that. So I've never driven in Europe IRL, but I got this theory. A lot of y'all's signs are symbols. I figure the EU is made up of, what, 44-ish countries, all speaking mostly different languages. So I figure a lot of y'all's signs are symbols. More universal, makes sense. In America, most of our signs are, I would say more of them anyway, more of them are actually written out in letters, because there's only one language spoken here, or at least there should be. So maybe there's some of those symbols that go with the sign. What I'm saying is maybe some of those symbols imply that's for cars. In America, if we have a speed limit for one particular kind of vehicle, it says so. Yeah, this truck. Whoa, 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 whoa! What are you doing? Dude, what? Where's my button? And my wheel's upside down. Where's my button? Where's that? There. What, man? My horn stopped working? There we go. I don't have the air horn. All right, we got one of these. Oh. Must have been a woman putting on her makeup. All right, let's go. You never know. You know, right as I start complimenting... Oh, crud. Up. We missed the turn. Okay, my bad. Well, I mean, honestly, only partly my bad. All right. So whatever that was about, I got to make another loop because yep. All right. Yeah, what I was saying right before that car stopped directly in front of me, this truck doesn't have I'll have to try the other shifty option. When I shift down, like right now I'm going to 53. If I shift down to 5 low, well, hang on a second. Okay, shift up. If I shift down, nah, I think changing that option will do what I want it to do. I think, because that option that I showed you, that allows me to basically, as far as I know, it allows me to basically redline it, grind gears, etc. We'll see. Or if any of y'all do know what I'm looking for and know how to help me, by all means, any help, advice, whatever, always appreciated. Hang on a second, make sure I know what... sorry, this roundabout kind of snuck up on me here. To get over in the right lane. All right. Lots of adventure. Well, that's why I figured I'd record this. I figure adventure always finds me because I like to be adventurous. All right, 70. Oh, actually, 80 is the speed limit, but we got a roundabout up here, so. Yeah, this part of the road is going real slow. I know it. Well, I hope it'll open up. Yeah, when I downshift there, I don't get that real feel. I can work on that, though. I can work on that. Like, there's been some stuff with my sim setup I've been lazy on. For instance, I still have not hooked up my track IR. And I've not programmed feedback into my gas pedal or brake yet. Those are things I can do. Thought I was looking at that earlier today, actually. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Another roundabout up here. Going through some cool towns. Unfortunately, I can't read any of these signs. Doesn't mean much to me. Yeah, it's in Fort. That's the one. I mean, there's. I like ETS2, but unfortunately, yeah, I can't read much of anything. So, like, okay, great example. Okay, whoops, wrong button. All right, so I'm obviously an American idiot, right? So, American idiot. I've been driving through Germany the last week wondering why do all these signs say Ausfahrt? I'm like, fart, fart, fart. What a weird country. And then I realized, oh, that means exit in German. You guys have signs that say Ausfahrt. It means exit, apparently. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. That would make me laugh. It's funny in English, okay? It's funny in English. So... there's England. You guys got England. They speak English, but they drive on the wrong side of the road. Which actually, you know what? I've only done a couple of deliveries there, and not for any reason, just because I haven't been back that way. Europe's a big place. I've only been out. Oh, slowing down again. Oh, slow down. I've only been out that way to do. Whoa, that car was right there, wasn't he? One or two. Oh, damn it! Deliveries, man. Well, you saw what happened. That car buzzed me on my left-hand side. I looked over at him, which I looked away from my GPS. Yep. Usually, okay, so 90% of the roundabouts I go through, I go straight. These last couple, it's like, no, this one you actually turn on. Let's get out of here. Man. Anyway, no, it's only because that guy I was looking away from my GPS. So, whatever I was saying. Oh yeah, I've only been to England here once or twice, maybe once. I drove up to one delivery and drove back out. The point is, I actually found it easier there to drive than I thought it would. I thought it'd be hard to drive on the left side of the road. Nah. Well, I did play Forza Horizon 4. Sounds silly, but I play lots of games, especially anything that has wheels. Tractors, semis, construction equipment, race cars. If it's got wheels, I drive it. I played Forza Horizon 4, which took place in the UK. That actually was a big leap in getting me used to driving on the left side of the road. It became natural there, so maybe that's why I actually adapted to it pretty easily, even though I've only been up and down. Here, actually, I can see if I just zoom out here. Yeah, see, I came here, I went up here, I came down here. That's the only driving I've done there. I actually found it pretty agreeable. Yeah, actually found it pretty agreeable. So there's one country that speaks English. They're adding Ireland at some point. That'll be another. I like to make fun of stuff that I am not totally comfortable with. I think it's all in good fun. Yeah, it's all in good fun. I'm just a silly American after all. And you know, I could drive, I could drive an American Truck Simulator. But since I got this game, I haven't. This has been really fun. Don't know why. I've just been having a lot of fun here. On December 4th, they're launching Louisiana. I guess I'll definitely go play that. But I've just been having a lot of fun here. What are these guys? These guys up here, they're all stacked up. I wonder what for. Man, we got us a long delivery today. We're still trucking. Still a few 100K to go. Delivering some Swedish cars to Norway. I used to have a Swedish car. I mean, I owned a Volvo once. I figure actually a lot of people probably have. Okay, is everyone staying in their lane? Okay. I always get nervous when I am blowing past people in other lanes. You know, like, am I doing something wrong? Why are they going slow and I'm going fast? Are they going to cut in front of me? You know, like, for instance, best example of that, and set our cruise control. Best example of that is you're going down the freeway, right? And there's like 4 lanes, right? Traffic's all backed up in the right 2 lanes, but the left 2 lanes are still moving. So you're flying down there 60 miles an hour and everyone's stopped, and you're thinking, do they know something I don't? Am I going to run into something up here? Why am I flying past all of them? Why aren't they in this lane going? You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Anyone who drives has been there. It's like, why am I whizzing past all these people? Why aren't they over here? Am I about to run into something? There's that sketchy kind of feeling. I kind of got that there. Yeah, because I'm going down the lane and the people in the lanes on the left and right of me are just sitting there. I'm like, no, we were good. Oh, no, this is pretty out here. This is what I like. Look at this. No rails, no walls, just country and road. This is what I'm used to. This is like country roads in America. No rails, just mountains, trees, and grass. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. And, yeah, bumpy, got little cracks and patches in the pavement and kind of rough in places. Whoa, whoa. Speaking of... Hold up. Look out there, big guy. There we go. What do we got up here? I guess just a roundabout, but got signs and stuff. Signs that say things I don't know. Oh! What? What? Where? What? Where? What? Where? Literally, I didn't hit anything. Okay, I'll have to review that in editing. I didn't hit anything. Look. Unless that guy hit me. Well, so that guy hit me. I know, maybe... Oh, like, I don't know. Let's just go. Let's just go. Man, I hate that crap. Whoops. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was... What happened to my wheel? Nothing. Just... I don't know what happened to my wheel there. I was sure it was my fault. I ran over that curb. I don't know. Sure that was me, but I don't know what got hit in that roundabout. My best guess is that I took the turn not wide enough and my trailer hit something. That's why I pulled the camera out. But the camera showed nothing, so... Yeah, that's why I pulled the camera out. But my truck was sitting there in the middle of the road, nothing around me except that black car, so... we are taking some kind of exit up here. Well, yeah, you know, always something interesting happening. I don't drive reckless. No. I think a lot could be avoided if I use my track IR, if I could turn my head better and see this stuff. But I got had issues with that. Setting it up, at least for me, it's not, I don't know. I need to like use some kind of good tutorial or something. It's not worked out for me the way I wanted it to. When I did hook it up, I was getting huge frame drops when I turned my head, and I couldn't abide that. And I'm like, no, there's no way I'm getting frame drops on this. I run this game full max settings. It's running 60 frames a second. I put on the track IR, I move my head, the frames drop. I'm like, no. So I'm thinking, surely it's something in the setup. I'll just figure it out later, but I can't abide that. And that's why I've not set it up yet. Plus, constantly resetting it. I don't know. But here's the thing. I watch a lot of simulator gameplay from like ATS, even DCS. I watch a lot of simulator gameplay. I'm a big fan of all simulators. Especially, for instance, so I can make sure that, for instance, DCS, you can't play that game without head tracking. You can't. And I've watched countless hundreds of hours of people doing dogfights and everything else in that. If you don't know what DCS is, it's a flight simulator. I watch hundreds of hours of people flying that in every which way, and they use track IR flawlessly. So it's something that I'm doing wrong. Yeah, but it's something I'm doing wrong, and I haven't gotten around to setting it up yet. But it would help me in times like that, you know, having better situational awareness around me. So, more beautiful forest road up here. I'm going to slow down. 80 kilometers feels a little fast. Man, this road really got slow, didn't it? Distance is just crawling. Like, we made the first several hundred kilometers pretty fast, but then distance has just been crawling. Wait, does this mean we're in Norway? I mean, I don't know. What are all these flags mean? I know it's obviously not a country's flag. I'm just saying there's a bunch of flags there for no particular reason. Wait, the borders in Scandinavia, there's no checkpoints or anything. They're pretty. No, we're definitely not. Obviously, we're in Sweden. Okay. I mean, yeah, the borders here, there's no checkpoints, which I think is cool. I guess Norway, Scandinavian countries are all friendly with each other or whatever. I don't know. There's no checkpoints. Sometimes I don't even know when I drift between Sweden or Finland or Norway. There's no way to even know usually. But now we're definitely still in Sweden. I think our trip will speed up here. Yeah, we made the first like 700 or 800 kilometers really fast, and then it started crawling. What made it so slow? Just complications, stops, roundabouts, towns? I don't know. Something slowed me down. We needed some more of this 80 kilometer an hour open road here. 70. There we go. Back up to 80 probably. Yeah, back up to 80. Beautiful country though. Oh, sorry. Darn it. I try to scratch my head. Bumped my mouse, my microphone. We got a town up here. Arvidsjaur. I can't pronounce Norwegian. Probably just Arvidsjaur. No, wait. Nah, yeah, I don't know how they make their sounds really. Not really. But I figure maybe there's some, maybe it's funny if I try to pronounce it. I don't mind if I sound dumb because literally anyone would sound dumb who doesn't know how to pronounce it, so. Okay, with some roundabouts. The slow kind. Kind I like. The one-laners, they're easy. I get a bit more nervous when they got two lanes in them and there's some car trying to go around on the inside. You know, meanwhile, I'm driving a semi. On the outside lane of the roundabout, I'm trying to keep my trailer from trailing on the inside lane. Meanwhile, some car's trying to pass me on the inside lane. It's like, man, slow down there, buddy. Yeah, I've been through this town, yeah, because it says I got this picture up here. Beautiful country. Now this roundabout here, we are turning left. I think next video we're gonna be driving the Kamaz. I've not driven that in a few videos. I like driving this truck, and I've been thinking today though, man, I like driving the thing. The thing is so all the trucks are awesome in their own way. Well, the ones that are, I mean, that truck is the Kamaz truck that I have. I showed it a couple videos ago. I'm gonna go back and drive it through Russia some more. It's kind of a fun little road trip. That truck's fun to drive. I was just thinking as I was shifting this truck, that truck has the best, like, driving it as a manual is like the best experience because you kind of only need like 2 gears. It's fun to drive around. It's not as powerful as this truck, which is also fun. It makes it more of a challenge, especially pulling heavy loads. I pulled a lot of heavy loads with the Kamaz just because it was challenging. This truck is really capable, and I've only just started upgrading this truck. It's still in its infancy. I just put the 6x4 chassis on it. It cost me a lot of money. Eventually this truck's gonna have the 8x4 chassis. It's gonna have I was gonna say near maxed out stats, but no, but they're up there. Like, does it show them if I click this? They're pretty good. Stats in this truck are already pretty good. If I look at truck manager, I forget. If I click this, actually, yeah. No. If I wasn't driving it, yeah, I could click upgrade and show you in the place, but no, I can't. Its bars are pretty good. You know what bars I mean? They're pretty good. Oh wait, if I click this, does it? Oh, I guess not. Okay, well, anyway, if I wasn't, doesn't matter. They're pretty good. I know once they go up to the 8x4 chassis, they'll be better. No, the road got kind of, well, it's not boring. This kind of road here is kind of my favorite kind of road, but yeah, a little bit. Well, this is the good part. This is the chill part. This is the chill part where we actually get to enjoy, yeah, I feel like, well, a lot of Europe is way more, requires a lot more attention and is way more intense than some other places. But every once in a while, like there, you get to really chill. Our speed slow down. 70 here. There's a Swedish flag. Does that mean we're going into Norway? I don't know. Just pondering. The speed limit slowed down and there's a Swedish flag. What speed am I? Well, I don't see a Norsk flag. Well, usually, you know, in Europe, that's how you tell the borders, right? Speed limit slows down. You got a bunch of buildings with one flag, and then a bunch of buildings with the other. But I don't know. We continue on. Whoa, wrong gear. There we go. Almost shifted to the wrong gear. That would have been bad. Oh, this is a cool little creek here with the bridges. I bet that would have been a nice picture. I've been taking so many pictures. That's one thing about Nordic Horizons. Yeah, I've been taking probably more pictures driving here than I have any other expansion. I mean, across either game, like, because most of my experience is playing ATS. I've probably taken more pictures in Nordic Horizons than I did in any, you know, state, whatever DLC era release throughout ATS. And I was there through... I played ATS most of the time since it's been out. I don't know, I started playing it in maybe 2019, so it had been out for a couple years, but basically, I've mostly played ATS through all the release of all the states, mostly. Oh, back up to 80. Just noticed that. I don't know what it is. Like, I have a bad habit of missing the speed limit signs. I'm inclined to say that the speed limit signs in Europe are less obvious because the yellow and red circles, I'm inclined to say they're less obvious than American speed limit signs, which are big, rectangular, and white. But I don't think it's that. I think that it's just that I've spent 30 years driving in America, and I'm just not... Yeah, I'm trained to look at white rectangles, not yellow circles, I think is what it is. So I'm not trained to look for them, so I miss them a lot more. Same with the stoplights here. I miss these stoplights a lot. In America, they go almost every time, right? Almost without exception, they go over the road. Here, they'll have them just super low-key on the side of the road. Oof, I've blown through a lot of stoplights in Europe because, yeah, I'll just have them on the side of the road. Yeah, and that's because in America, they're all over the road. You know, over as in over, right? And that's where I'm trained to look. I'm trained to look above the road, not beside it, for things and other things. What do we got up here? We can stop for fuel. Yeah, we could stop for fuel. We could do a fuel stop. Well, I'm looking over at my gauge, and it looks lowish. And this is a pretty place to stop. Pretty scenic and whatnot. Yeah, this is one of those places you pull over, get your food, sit out at one of the... Oh, there are... I was going to say, sit out at a picnic table. There's actually some picnic tables over there. Yeah, get your food, sit out at a picnic table, breathing that fresh mountain air. Yep. All right, let's go. Oh, e-brake, probably. Yeah, I put it on. Okay. Let's get going. This is the final stretch. 220 clicks to go. Where's he going? Is he trying to turn in front of me? No, why would he do a thing like that? Go, my fellow Scania brother. All right. Well, I was looking. Now we're clear. Clear. Go, 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 go. Man, this thing accelerates. Listen to that. I mean, this thing can move. Wow, this thing can move. Oh, well, this is kilometers, not miles. Yeah, but still, it can definitely move. All right, we're set. We're good. 200K to go. Yeah. 200K. What's that in miles? 120 miles. That's not far at all. Ah. Enjoy our beautiful northern Scandinavian countryside. So we take our shipment of Volvos to the good people of Norway, where they will learn about Swedish automotive engineering. Steep hill here. That's what I love about manual. It was kind of chugging up the hill a bit. With the manual, just drop the clutch and slam it down a gear. Get some more acceleration up the hill. There we go. I mean, we just fueled up. Why not burn some fuel, right? What do we got going on here? Slow down a little bit. Norge. Norge? Is that how you pronounce it? Norge? I think. I don't know. But anyway, that would be the border, I guess, because it said Norge. I know that means Norway. So, we're now in Norway. Man, we found Grandma here. All right, let's go. Feels like we're going downhill. My e-brake, not e-brake, my engine brake, when I push it, yeah, I feel like I'm just coasting. I feel like something's wrong with my engine brake. Well, this looks like a place I want to use it, but got my hand on it, but and it's like I would think it's just this truck's engine, but it's been all my trucks, and so maybe. And I'm not even thinking like, I'm not even expecting a loud sound, right? I'm not expecting a brrr. I'm not expecting that at all. I'm expecting the truck to slow down. You know, and it's not. The truck's just coasting. It feels like it's not working. I've driven one truck in this game where for sure it worked. And that was the first one I drove. My first truck in this game was the Volvo FH6. As far as I can recall, I had a normal functioning engine brake. And every truck since then hasn't. And that's why I've been wondering, did something happen with my controls? Is it my setup? Do no European trucks have an engine brake? That doesn't sound very sensible. There's a lot of mountains here. I don't know. Or is it all my imagination and my engine brake was working? But if that's the case, and it's not just this truck or this truck's sound, every one of them is the same thing. When I push it, everything goes away and I'm just coasting. Some of them I don't even lose speed. Now here I actually am losing speed. I don't know. Doesn't feel like it should. That's alright. The last truck I was driving, that DAF, I was in some town in northern Norway. I was going over that big bridge in the last video. Yeah, I was driving the DAF over that huge bridge that went out to that one town. And it's a really steep bridge, had a big hill. And I held the engine brake over the whole last back side of it for like half a kilometer. I held the engine brake all the way down the back side of that bridge. And I went down a total of 2 kilometers an hour. That's the amount of speed that I lost. And I was like, I don't think this thing is working. Yeah, I don't know. Well, look at that. We are 118 kilometers away. Going to the name of... What's the name of the town we're going to? I don't remember. I don't remember reading it the first time. I guess we'll see when we get there. Last couple towns we went to in Norway. Let's see. I don't even know what it was. In my head, I called it Moana. You know, like the Disney princess. Because it was like Mo-I-Rana or something like that. Didn't sound Norwegian to me. So yeah, I can't pronounce Norwegian names. I definitely can't pronounce whatever that was. That was the last place we were at. Before that, we were at a place called Svedder or something like that, right? Before that, it was like Andesna or something. I don't really remember. I think I'm doing pretty good remembering as little as I can, actually. This one, I'm not sure I properly looked at the name of this town. You know, I wish these tunnels had like actual real life reverb. You know, when you got yeah, like when you got an exhaust system like this, you go through one of these tunnels, downshift and, right? Just let it rip through these tunnels and hear the echo, right? That's too bad there's no reverb effect here. You know, there's probably a mod for that or something. Well, actually, well, thinking about it, I'm not sure how they're, well, maybe there would be. I don't know how it works, but maybe there would be, who knows. I was thinking, could the mods do that? And then I was thinking in my head, I was like, well, some games do, because I've actually seen that mod for, like, Fallout 4 had a mod that did that added reverb in enclosed spaces, so maybe this game could. Lots of tunnels here. So, yeah, so anyway, I guess what I was kind of getting at is the last, like, 3 towns we were at were on the coast, as this one is too, I believe, but they were like fishing villages right down on the water. I'm not sure if this one is or not. I mean, probably. We've got some construction areas here. Oh, wow, I got passed by an RV. Here, go, 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 go. No? No go? All right. I was going to let him go. He chickened out. It's not a smart move, man. When you're passing someone on these mountain roads and you're going up a hill, and I did the right thing because I am a mountain driver. I slowed down to let him in front of me. He chickened out. That's the thing you don't do. Dude, if you're passing someone up a blind hill and they let you go, you take it. You don't chicken out. That's how people get in accidents. All right, we got us a town here. Quaint little Norwegian mountain town. Yeah. Pretty little town. Oh, and that scenery. Yeah, a lot of these towns like this one right here. This looks like where I live. Maybe slightly different trees, but you could get the same kind of towns out here. Yeah, something about the trees feels different. I'm not a treeologist or anything, but something about the trees we have here in America are, I think we have different kinds. Like there's like different families, right? There's like pine trees and spruce trees or whatever. And look, I live in Colorado, surrounded by billions of them. I should know the difference, but like I said, I'm not a treeologist. I don't know the difference. But I know, or is it fir and spruce? I don't know. There's different kinds though, right? And they're like fundamentally different, not only in color, but in the way their branches go. I mean, whatever. Point is, something about the scenery here looks exactly like where I live, but also not quite. I think it might be different kinds of trees. I don't know for sure. I don't pay attention to the trees. I know, well, how about this? They have this, people say this thing that, now I don't know if this is true or fact, but this is something that people say here in America, is that people say that Eskimos have 40 different words for the color white, right? Because of where they live, right? Makes sense. It makes sense on the surface, but maybe it's kind of hard to understand, but I do understand it, okay? The idea that they have 40 different words for the color white, I do understand it because I was just describing my complete ignorance. The trees, yeah, I don't know, even though I live surrounded by them. But what I do know, you know what I do know? Snow. Now, we only have one word for snow in English. That's snow. But in Russian, it's snick. We have one word for it. But the point is, but I have lived in high mountain areas for so long. Internally, in my head, if there was a language to support it, I know of about 30 or 40 different kinds of snow. Like when I'm driving on the road, I can feel with my tires, is it, let's see, You got dry powdery snow. You got the obvious. You got the dry powdery snow. You got the wet slushy snow. You got the wet packed slick snow. You've also got the wet packed snow that's not slick because it's got like rocks and rough surface under it. Like for instance, a driver like me, and this is not special, but any driver from high mountains in Colorado, you'll see us. We'll know, like I'll see a packed snowy road and I'll know can I go 60 miles an hour down that or 30 miles an hour down that? Do the tire tracks on it look slick? Are there bumps under the tire tracks? See what I'm saying? Like, some of y'all may think you know snow, but you don't know snow unless you live in places like I've lived. Where, dude, we absolutely have bragging rights. Absolutely have bragging rights. I know snow, dude. I know snow. So what I was saying is like the whole thing is like, I understand that thing about what people say with the Eskimos, because if there was a language to support it, I could fully have 40 different words for different kinds of snow. You know, a lot of times I'll get on snow. Like if it's snowing, you know, I'll kind of maybe even slide the car around a bit and get a feel for it. Like, how bad is it? And then, of course, but it changes. It changes in different intersections, traffic areas. It's so different in lots of places. Anyway, I got all excited talking about snow. Yeah, well, I don't live in the super high mountains like I used to. Don't get as much here. Kind of miss it a little bit. Actually, now that I think of it, today was the first snow here. Yeah, just earlier today. Actually, right before this video, I was coming over from next door, and it was actually snowing out. Today's the first snow of the year here where I live. I still live in Colorado, but I live a little further west than where I used to. We're getting close, aren't we? Oh, 2 kilometers. How'd that happen? Whoa, guys, I've been talking super long and crazy, I guess, huh? 2 clicks. I was just thinking, man, it seems like we're kind of getting down to the... I've been totally AFK shifting while I talk, not missing a beat. Yeah, dude, you get used to this stuff. It's really, really good feeling. Yeah, we're getting like really, really close here. Cool. Well, I like talking about snow. It's something I know. All right, let's see. There's all kinds of snow. And I've told people things like that before, like about, like there's different kinds of the slick snow. Like there's the slick packed snow. There is the packed snow that you can drive fast on. And it happens in dry climates near the end of winter. See, again, you'd have to live out here to know this. Throughout the winter, they put gravel and that whatever it is on the roads, that gravelly dust stuff they put on the roads. Throughout the winter, that piles up. By like January, you'll have what looks like packed slick snow, but it's not, because it's got really spiky gravel caked up under it, and it actually gives you a lot of traction. You can actually really haul on that snow. That's stuff that only we know. Yeah, it's like... Anyway, we're here, guys. We're here. We're here. Well, that was a fun drive. 1,400 kilometers, whatever it was. Now, we have the real adventure. Well, not now, actually. We just have a small extra adventure. Maybe. Hey, the last video, they had us park this trailer of forklifts literally inside of a building. So that was an adventure. This looks pretty straightforward. Where are we taking this? Right up here? Okay. Guess I could have gone the other way around, but this will work just fine. Yeah, I should have gone the other way. That's alright, we'll just look at it from over here. Alright. Nice and easy. Nice and easy does it. I go, yeah, you know, I used to make mistakes when I backed up. I still do. But I make less because I go slower. I creep the clutch and they go super slow. And you know what? Works out pretty decently. Oops, went a little far on that. That's okay. We'll snap it in. Snap it in. Okay. A little too aggressive on that, man. You know, That was fine too until I did that little maneuver. That's alright. Alright, let's get this thing delivered back in here. That's good enough. There we go. We're good. Alright, e-brake so I don't roll forward. Well, let's get this turned in here. So that video was definitely longer than the last couple. Yeah, I knew it would be. I saw that huge delivery ahead of me and I was like, man, this could make an interesting video. I hope that it did. Let me know in the comments if it made an interesting video. I try to have fun when I do these, and I want to chill and talk to you guys, have fun, drive trucks, and talk about cool stuff. And I figured this was a good time to show any of you Nordic Horizons if you don't have the expansion, the DLC, whatever. If you're thinking about buying it, whatever. Whoops, I didn't mean to... I was kind of getting yeah. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're still watching the video, why not give it a like and subscribe? Because if you've been watching me this long, well, then we're friends, right? And friends watch each other's videos, right? So I'll see you next time. Yeah, guys. Oh, wow, that's a gorgeous view right there. Guys, thanks a lot. I'll catch you next time. See you tomorrow, new video. Peace out.